It's an honor to introduce our current chief of the Kwanlin Dün First Nation, Rick O'Brien, a Northern Shoshone man, an uncle, a brother, a son, and a man who has demonstrated throughout his career the importance of investing in our own people and always pursuing your dreams and always advancing the interests of the collective and always challenging people to look at our lives through a cultural lens.
I just want to say good evening to everyone. On behalf of our council, I want to welcome all of you here tonight. This is another special night for Kwanlin Dün First Nation. It's a time for celebration. We are pleased you are here. Those of you that are here, take time out of your busy schedule to come here to be with us tonight. Thank you. You're here to share the launch of our new book entitled Listen to the Stories, A History of Kwanlin Dün, Our Land and People. How many people do not have a copy of this book? How many people want a copy of this book? Have patience. Chances are you will get a copy. This book has been many years in the making, and there are a number of folks we would like to thank. First and foremost, I want to thank our elders and the staff and all the people who shared their stories of Kwanlin Dün's unique history. I also want to take this opportunity to thank a good friend of mine who I've known many years, Tom Baudouin, who's the former Kwanlin Dün's Director of Land Claims and Implementation. So Tom, thank you for all your work. Lindsay Staple, who's a consultant. Both of these individuals played a key role in making this project possible through their negotiations and vision. Again, Tom, thank you. Helen Dobrozwolski, if I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry, and Rob Ingram of Midnight Arts, who compiled and produced the book on our behalf. Thank you. And thank you to TransCanada Foothills Pipeline for funding our book and also for tonight's celebration. This book is a reminder of where we have come from. Thank you, TransCanada. Again, this book is a reminder of where we have come from, and although it's a snapshot, a very small snapshot of the many changes, the many obstacles and challenges that we, as Kwanlin Dün people, have faced over many years. Our history, as we all know, includes some real dark moments. We were not welcome in our own land. We were made to feel like strangers in our own land. And we were not appreciated nor valued as First Nation people. Large-scale development such as the Klondike Gold Rush, the construction of the Alaska Highway, and the hydroelectric dam had major impact on Kwanlin Dün people. And these other developments eroded our traditional lands and destroyed wildlife and fish habitat. Our people were forced to locate many times to places we would never have chosen. Our people were forced to attend residential schools, breaking our families for generations to come. Our language, culture, and way of life were forever impacted by these events. But Kwanlin Dün people, we stayed strong. Oh yeah. Today, we honor the strength and the vision of our ancestors and our leaders while remembering the many things that changed our lives. We have worked hard to be where we are today as contributing members to society. We are governing ourselves. We have reclaimed ownership of our lands and resources. We are reviving our language and culture, and we are creating a brighter path for our children, who, most importantly, is our future. And that is what we are celebrating here tonight. where we came from, where we are now, and where we are going. It's all about our future generation, our youth. I would like to thank the many people who worked very hard to make tonight's celebration a success. If I did that, I'd be up here all night, but I don't have a lot of time because I know our MC, she's probably going to come up here pretty soon. Mean June. So thank you to all the people who worked hard for tonight to make this event tonight, the celebration, a success. The team has put together an amazing show to bring the story of Kwanlin Dun's people back to life. So please sit back and enjoy. And once again, on behalf of council, welcome and thank you for coming out tonight.
I just want to hold you up here, and at this time, got a little surprise of the schedule, and at this time I'd like to call on Judy Gingil and Judith Custer.
Ooh, the two Judys.
You're in trouble.
It's always when the two Judys come. The bossy Judy, and this is my aunt. She's bossy too.
I don't know if I want to give them this presentation, but I've been given the honors tonight to present our chief with a presentation. While our staff was going through the archives, they came across a beautiful gift, and they think it's most appropriate at this evening to present it to our chief, to be very thankful for his leadership and his guidance that he has brought our First Nations to where we are today. And we're so proud and so thankful. And on behalf of our people, Rick, I have a presentation for you. And you can unwrap it on the stage.
I'm going to save it and put it under my Christmas tree.
The picture that we have given Rick is a picture of my mother as a young residential school, and the other lady was her sister, my Aunt Jessie Isaac, Selena Isaac and Jessie Isaac, when they were young. Did you know that? Did you know we had it? See, it looks like
So this is proof that I'm also Southern Shoshone. And when Victoria introduced me as Northern Shoshone, again, you know, lawyers, they have a way with words, and they're quite convincing sometimes. So thank you.
It's the Yukon First Nations that came up with the word First Nations. It's in our agreements, and I can remember the days that we were sitting around the table And we wanted to get away from a lot of the words that are in the Indian Act. And a lot of times today, people call their office ban office. I just cringe. It's not a ban office, it's a government office. And like, and because we are a government, I'm not a member, I'm a citizen. We all are a citizen of a government. So it does take time to make changes, but as elders, and we know, we have to call it out and say, it's a government office. But anyways, at this time, I'd like to introduce you to Sean Smith. The Kwanlin Dün Elders Council, back in March, I believe, of last year, when the Arctic Games was going to be here, they were going to have a cultural evening here. And at that time, there was an opening for the Kwanlin Dün, the opening of the cultural center. So when we had our meetings with them and started to put the cultural events together, Kwanlin Dün did not have a dance group. And the Elders Council, we had a meeting, and I say, this cannot happen. There is no way that we're going to have a opening celebration for Kwanlin Dün and we don't have our dancers, and we're going to have to hire dancers from other First Nations? No. So the Elders Council applied for funding. The Chief and Council also supported us financially to hire 2 individuals to get this dance group up and running. Sean was one of them that applied, and Edith Baker was the other one that applied for the positions. Edith did all the ordering of the fabrics, the hides, and the materials, and the beads that we need in order for the regalia to be put together. So we performed that night as the Kwanlin Dün First Nation dancers. And tonight they're called the Kwanlin Dün All-Nation Dancers, because you know in Kwanlin Dün we have other First Nations from throughout the Yukon, even some from British Columbia and different parts of the province across Canada. So, and Sean is a very young man and is a future leader for our community, an upcoming leader for our community, and also he's going to become the keepers of our language, dances, and culture. Sean Smith.
So, according to our traditions, we have chosen both men and women as our leaders, individuals wise and skilled, responsible for and respected by our people. In past times, our leaders guided our movements on the land, knowing where and when to hunt, how to fish, how to negotiate with our trading partners, always working hard on behalf of our people. Today, these skills and knowledge are more necessary for our current chiefs, our future chiefs that we pass on to the torch of leadership. They must protect our rights and navigate the complexities of bureaucracy to implement our treaties in the best way possible for our future generations. Tonight, we recognize our chiefs, past and present. The earliest chiefs remembered today are Mandasa, chief in the late 1800s, Lake Labarge hereditary chief who grew up before the gold rush. He witnessed the gold rush happening before his eyes as he was growing up. The amount of change, the influx of change in this land was huge. I have very, very little understanding, and I've studied books on their history, how people did things, traditional way, and for him to see that whole complexity change, it was black and white. It was a huge change. The next leader I'd like to speak up speak of is gonna talk. Gonna talk. He was Marsh Lake Jackie, chief in the late 1800s, renowned as Marsh Lake Chief, who has also experienced profound changes in the 19th century, the turn of the century period. Next leader is Kashchut. He's Kishut. Jim Boss, 1890s to 1950, son of Mundessa, who became Lake Lebar chief at the time of the gold rush. Famous as the father of Yukon land claims for the letter he wrote to the king in 1902. This letter documented problems caused by stampeders taking over our lands and resources of his people, the traditional territories. He remained a hereditary leader until his death in 1950. Kennel, Chief Billy Smith, 1957, 1965. In this area, he was the first chief chosen by the people of Whitehorse Indian Band after the Department of Indian Affairs amalgamated Lake Labarge, Marsh Lake, and other groups in the 1950s. Billy worked hard to achieve voting rights and other benefits for people while continuing his traditional healing practice, hunting and trapping and singing and drumming with his wife, Kitty Smith. Both a lot of traditional knowledge came from them that they passed down to their children and to their grandchildren. Ketsote, Kajani. This is Scurvy Shorty, chief, 1965 to 1967. He was the first elected chief of the Whitehorse Indian Band, who advocated for better housing for his people at a time when pollution and substandard conditions were rampant in the old village. He continued to build homes and help others to improve their lives after he left office. It's these people that stay after they leave the leadership that really show their traditional teachings from where they got that, to stand by their people, to help their people. Tame, Elijah Smith, Uye. Chief, 1967 to 1968. Elijah grew up on the land, then went to fight with the Canadian armies overseas in World War II. His experiences had a profound impact, and he returned to the Yukon determined to better the living conditions amongst his people. He was elected chief in 1967, resigning the next year to become founding chair of the new Yukon Native Brotherhood, taking our claims document to Prime Minister Trudeau in Ottawa. This initiated the long road to restoring our self-government, our self-determination. Chief Andrew Clifford McLeod, 1968 to 1969. He's a hard-working man all his life, working for the American Army on the Alaska Highway, later on the Whitehorse Dam, and at the old Whitehorse Copper for decades. As chief, he worked to clean up the polluted conditions in the old village, establishing the delivery of clean water for his people. He worked hard to help the people in the conditions that they had to live through at the time. Shkik, Chief Johnny Smith, Johnny E. Smith. He was chief from 1969 to 1973, 1981 to 1985, and 1985 to 1988. He was the son of former chief Billy Smith and renowned culture bearer Kitty Smith. Johnny traveled widely with his parents and later his own family, hunting and trapping to make a living from the land. He was part of the Ottawa delegation of Yukon Chiefs in 1973, and then instrumental in the move of the Whitehorse Indian Band members to McIntyre subdivision, and then the construction of the modern housing for the people, for his people. Johnny, together with his wife Annie was a long supporter of cultural education for young people, spending many days with kids at Elijah Smith School and Yukon College. Again, a leader that stuck by his people, helped them pass down the traditions and knowledge. Sheesh. Dunk A. Ken Liata. That's Roy H. Sam. He was chief from 1973 to 1981. Served in the Canadian Army for several years outside, returning home and becoming involved in Yukon Native Brotherhood in the 1960s. As chief, he lobbied for the establishment of his first band police force and paid salaries for chiefs. That was a time when we were the RCMP. Dunk A. Aja, Chief Ann Smith, 1988 to 1990. Daughter of Fred and Kitty Smith, Ann grew up in the bush with his family, learning traditional skills until school age when she attended residential school and later F.H. Collins High School, and then vocational school. She was elected as a band counselor. She chaired the relocation committee, worked in alcohol and drug counseling, and then was elected chief in the late 1980s. After serving as chief, Ann decided to pursue a new calling as an artist and weaver, becoming renowned for a revitalization of rave steel and choke-out weaving style across the territory and internationally. Dunk A, Lena John Souye, Chief 1990 to 1993, from 1993 to 1996. Lena worked at many positions before being elected as balance counselor in the late 1980s, and then chief in 1990. She focused on improving child welfare policies to better ensure outcomes for children and promoted addictions treatment facilities, restorative justice practices such as circle sentencing, and campaigns to reduce alcohol abuse. She was very supportive of archaeology and cultural programs, believing in the importance of heritage for the community. Sheesh. Dunk A. Gagan. Joe Jack. Chief Joe Jack. 1996 to 1999. Growing up in Whitehorse, Joe attended school here and later outside to obtain renewable resources training, while also spending time on the land with his grandmother. He served as CY vice chair and also ran for parliament twice. When elected KDFN chief, he focused on preparing the administration for self-government, as well as overseeing construction of the new health center, recreation center, and restoration of cemeteries. Sheesh. Rick O'Brien. Oh, not yet. Got to hold on there, Rick. Okay. Dunk A. Shaw Cooney. Chief Mike Smith from 2002 to 2011. Mike grew up on the land in his early years, then went on to complete high school, university, and then get a law degree. He was a CY negotiator for several years, then chair, before running for office as KDFN chief. During his first term, the KDFN final agreements were signed and ratified in 2005. He currently serves as Yukon Regional Chief in the Assembly of Yukon First Nations. Sheesh. Now, Rick. Good chunk A. Rick O'Brien, Chief, first in 1999 to 2000, and then re-elected in 2011 to present. Rick trained and worked hard as a journeyman carpenter, running his own businesses before his election as chief. He went on to serve as Yukon Regional Chief for the territory for the Assembly of Yukon First Nation, or Assembly of First Nations, then came back to KDFN to serve his second term as chief. His focus is economic development and job creation to ensure citizens benefit from projects in our traditional territories. Ganesh. These are leaders from KDFN's past. These are leaders that gave us, that invested much of their time and effort to creating a better future for all of us. All of us as we step forward in determining where we go, what we want in our future. And it's not just our future, it's our kids' future. It's all of our future. So, again, Ganesh Chish, Shoni Than.
Dekanu tadu, heya, heya. Dekanu tadu, heya, heya. Asia kei dacha nakotsating ana uga yatsasaina heya. Uga yatsasaina heya, heya. Asia kei nakotsating a heya, heya. Aju tashan niti aju yatsasai niti Asia kei nakotsating a heya, heya. Ahu tashan niti Ahu tashan niti Kwanlin cheese ye din is cheese, yay, dee. Sean Ethan.
There are two songs that we will share here. The first one is the Ptarmigan Hunt, and with these songs here, our male dancers, when the time is right, they will be hunted, so they are to represent the ptarmigan. And then our female dancers, our majestic female dancers, will go down and help revive them. And after that, we will speak about the next song. So Ganesh Chiefs, thank you.
So we're going to ask that the dancers please stay on stage. And
Okay.
When the night never seems to bring morning to your house, to your street, or to your town. When all lost things cannot be found, don't let it bring you down, down, down. Working people keep on working. Your poor man stays poor. With one hand on the bottle, 1,000 thoughts of his life before. I say, oh, my heart, oh, 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 my heart beats like a drum for you. Oh, my heart, we say, oh, my heart, oh, 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 my heart beats like a drum for you. Don't be shy, sing with us. Sing for your ancestors. Sing for your parents and your children. Oh, it beats like a drum for you. Oh, my heart, oh, my heart beats like a drum for you. I hope you all go home with a happy and full heart, and thank you very much for everybody who made this event possible. Thank you, Kwanlin Dün, and we share with you in your joy. One more time. I say, oh.